Why are there so many tattoo shops popping up lately? There's one on every street corner, my god. And we showed you in part number 1, part of the reason is because there's studios that have way too many apprentices and unfortunately sometimes not enough good teachers to go around. And so we wanted to find you guys a good artist that we could recommend out there in Neosho, Missouri, but unfortunately out of the 4 studios there, not so much. There wasn't one that we really could recommend. So we head up north to Joplin, Missouri, where unfortunately there's also like 20 studios and this city only has a population of 50,000. So why are there so many studios popping up there? It just doesn't make sense. But we were able to weed through the riffraff and help you clients out a little bit. So stick around for an artist that we recommend. Here we go. Hello, welcome to the show. This is Hack Hunter, where we review some of the best and worst tattoo artists in your cities. And in this episode, we head up to Joplin, Missouri, where there is way too many tattoo shops in that town. But, you know, I guess if there's a demand for it, I guess it makes sense. But it's hard for clients to weed through them and find a good one. So we're going to do it for you. So without further ado, let me introduce Justin Bird. You can find him working at Blacklist Inc. If you want to see him on Instagram, Blacklist Inc. on Instagram. And they honestly have a great roster of artists, a lot of versatility amongst their artists. And so I strongly recommend any client out there in Joplin, Missouri, if you're trying to find a good, talented artist, I can tell you for sure the owner here only hires quality talent. And if you want to see Justin's portfolio, Justin Bird Art on Instagram, you guys always got to do your own research. You know that. But let me show you what I found. Boom, we're going to start off here with this one, the astronaut Tony the Tiger. I'm not really sure what was meant to be behind this design or where it came from, but I can tell you it's well done. You know, he designed this very, very well, and I see a lot of really clean line work, very, very smooth gray wash, nice small details in there. This is a great tattoo all around. And something that really impressed me is most of his work is custom designed. You can see in his portfolio that he's got a lot of these flash sheets that he creates himself, and they're really kind of unique, cool things, and I really appreciated looking through all of them. I know there's a debate right now in the tattoo industry as to whether tattooers have to be artists to become a tattooer, and to be honest, no, you don't. You can be a tattooer without being an artist, but if you ask me, you guys, if you don't have the discipline or the dedication or the passion to learn how to do art or to excel at art or even just become good at it, then why would you think you have the dedication, discipline, or passion to become a tattooer? It's the same thing. It's one and the same. Either you have the drive and discipline to learn something and perfect it and get good at it, or you don't. And so I have a hard time trusting tattooers that are pretty much just tracing every tattoo they do, because if they really were dedicated to their craft, more often than not, they're going to be a good artist on paper as well. And you can see that in Justin's portfolio, absolutely. Look at the small detail in these Argyle socks and in the snail's shell here. I just love how he did it. Again, he's using multiple line weights. You can see he's using bold lines to accentuate some of the things and then small thin lines on the inside. I always like to see it when artists do that because it means that they're putting in 100% for their clients. They're not just worried about trying to save equipment or save time. They're using as much equipment or as much time as they need to create a nice clean piece. And here's another great example of his shading. Look how smooth it is. The black saturation looks really great. His application is just down, and I really like that in a lot of these images there was very little to no editing done, and so you could really tell what it was going to look like. That's something I really appreciate. Hashtag no filters. I hate seeing when artists filter the shit out of their work. It is akin to false advertising, if you ask me, you guys. So you always want to look for an artist who's going to post natural photos along with their edited photos, or just don't edit them at all. Now, some of his color work I found I was also really impressed with. Look at this cool little red panda spilling his bowl of noodles. It's got the egg in there, the bacon. I just love it. Really cool creative artwork, and it is absolutely translated to tattooing very well for him. The color saturation in his work looks great. The color blending looks really great. So again, his application is just on point. And if you're the kind of client that takes their time to zoom in and look for these errors, look for consistency in your artist's work, and you'll be able to find a talented artist no problem, because it's going to be very obviously night and day difference between an artist that's putting in the effort the way Justin is here and an artist who is just in it for the money and is just going to give you kind of quick in and out stuff to get you out the door and get your money. Overall, just very, very impressed. Happy to showcase his work. And I've seen a lot of kind of realism stuff that he was starting to do more and more of, it looks like, in his career. Now, he's only been tattooing, I think he apprenticed maybe back in 2016, 2017. So he's still relatively new on the tattoo scene. So I really love to see when an artist, you can tell they're very dedicated, because even early on in their career, they're putting in great work like this. And even a couple years back, his work was looking this clean. And so, yeah, very, very impressive. And this realism stuff that he's getting into, you can see that he's absolutely got all his fundamentals down. And so when he's attempting something like this, look how smooth the gray shading is on her face there and the detail in the eye. That just shows you that an artist that has their application technique down, they know all those fundamentals, they're doing it well, they're doing it right, they're going to be easily able to translate into things like realism, and I see more of that in his future career most likely. So absolutely, Justin Bird from Blacklist Tattoo goes on our approved list. He's a great artist. I strongly recommend you guys check him out if you live out there in Joplin, Missouri. That's it for this one, but here's some more of his artwork if you want to see it. Otherwise, check out part number 1 if you haven't seen it already, guys, or we'll see you in the next city. Bye-bye.